Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I see that you have your moon sand with you.
I do. This is my moon stand.
That's great. I'm glad you have that with you today.
Do you like water parks like me?
I do like water parks.
You like
Yeah.
the ones where you stand on the trap door, or are you too scared of those?
I am too scared of those.
Just like my brother.
Yeah,
My
I have
brother's
to
terrified of
admit.
them.
I think they're pretty scary.
They were to me at first, but now they're fun. Maybe they can be a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think both
You
can.
know what? I think I like those better than going off a diving board for sure because it's more sensory, more therapeutic.
Okay, so you like that feeling of
It's a
just.
feeling. It's just my sense of touch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like when if gotta keep that smart brain on. Sometimes I can get dysregulated at water parks if the lines are so long because I really want to go on the slides. But I do the best to keep my smart brain on.
Do you think we could use that real life experience and talk about it a little bit?
Sure. About keep learning how to when my smart brain is off and my emotional and survival brains are gonna take over.
Yeah.
Or because my smart brain was sort of turning off, but it was half on, half off.
Yeah.
But
It's
the emotional and survival brains were about to take over. Like, is that what happens in Inside Out? Like, what did Riley do with her feelings? All those little feelings inside her head.
tell me about that.
Like joy, sadness, anger, disgust, fear. Anxiety took over joy.
Mhm.
Anxiety was taking over joy in Inside Out too. Let's continue.
Let's continue. Do you think we can talk about the experience of feeling dysregulated at the water park?
Yeah, sometimes I was a little dysregulated, like whenever I'm um heads facing down. Is that a sign of dysregulation?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We could add that to your list in just a little while. First, I want to go through the
Sometimes I
past.
get dysregulated at Disneyland sometimes.
Oh
Like if
my
there's a baby
gosh.
crying, I could cause me to get a bit dysregulated.
Let's talk about it.
Like sometimes when I was with my old therapist, Jennifer Beers, there was a baby crying the entire time near the train, and I did very well. I wanted to keep my smart brain on, and I tried to, but it was on, but I didn't want my emotional and survival brains to take over.
Mhm.
Sometimes if they're very loud, I can get very dysregulated, and my smart brain is off. I can get dysregulated.
We started to talk about the moment at Disneyland.
Yes, and on the pirate ride, there was a crying child, and it made me very dysregulated.
And can we also talk about the moment in the water park where the line was long and you felt dysregulated?
There was a long line. I don't really remember.
Oh, okay. So maybe we should just talk about Disneyland. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So that moment right before you heard the baby crying, how did you feel before the baby?
Worried. And also,
Worried.
on the plane, we were leaving Chico. There was a tiny little infant, and we had to switch seats, and the baby didn't even make one noise.
Wow, okay. That's really cool. That's a really good baby, huh? Not that crying babies are bad, but that baby must have felt really comfortable and safe on the plane.
It was a newborn, tiny little infant. What
That's
is a tiny little infant? Newborn?
mm-hmm. Okay, so when you were at Disneyland, before you heard the baby crying, how did you feel? Did you feel excited at all?
I was a little at first. Why do kids cry when they get hurt? Because it hurts?
Yeah.
they don't know how to express themselves.
Not yet, right?
Not till they're like 12 or 13, right?
Mm-hmm. Maybe if you're lucky, some kids never learn how to express themselves, right? Let's go back to topic. Is that okay?
Okay.
So, before you heard the baby crying, you felt excited and worried. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
something like that.
Why do you think you were feeling worried?
Because I didn't want to hear it. Just in case I didn't want to hear the baby cry.
Okay, yeah. So, worried that a baby might cry.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. So, how did you feel right after the baby started crying?
I felt a little dysregulated because I don't want to hear it. Well,
Yeah,
I'm doing a little better with these, but it's still a little struggle, but not as it was.
that's good. And you felt that way because you didn't want to hear it.
And you know what they sound like to me?
I
Pomeranians
no,
and Chihuahuas.
I was just about to say little dogs, right? It sounds like little dogs to you.
It's mostly Chihuahuas and Pomeranians.
It hurts your ears, correct?
Yes, and it also sounds like a rooster crowing in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like when I was in Joshua Tree in an Airbnb, there were two roosters crowing in the middle of the night at 4 in the morning.
Oh my goodness, that's annoying.
Yeah, it's like roosters crowing.
Okay, do you think you could read what we found out so far?
Past feelings date 12/20/2024. This worksheet will help us work through moments when we feel intense emotion. It's made to help you work through each moment and understand yourself and others even better. What happened? At Disneyland, a baby was crying, and when they're loud, I can get dysregulated. How did I feel before it happened? Excited. Worried that the baby might cry. How did I feel right after it happened? Dysregulated. Why do I think I felt that way? Because you didn't want to hear it. It hurt your ears.
Awesome. So, in that moment, Abby, how could you tell that you were dysregulated? Did you show any signs?
I don't know.
I like that you're focusing on your moon sand. That's really good.
Is this really a moon?
I don't think so.
I
I imagine it'd be really expensive if it was a moon, a real moon. I'm going to ask that question again, just in case you can think of the answer, okay? How could you tell that you were dysregulated when the baby was crying?
Because I was getting a little dysregulated because I didn't want to hear the baby cry.
Yeah. Were you fighting? Were you speaking in categories? Were you
I was saying that babies eat vegetables and adult women who smile eat ice cream.
okay? You were speaking in categories, right?
Like that in my head, but not out loud.
So in your head, you were speaking in categories.
Yeah.
Could anyone around you tell that you were feeling dysregulated?
I bet Jen could, but I did really well with that baby crying near the train, but I was a little dysregulated, but not that dysregulated.
I'm really proud of you for doing well. Do you feel proud of yourself?
Yeah.
Good, you should be.
Thank you.
You said that Jen could probably tell, right?
It's because I was getting triggered by the noise, but I still did great.
No, I know you still did great. There's no doubt about that. But I'm wondering how Jen could tell that you were dysregulated. How could she know?
Because I was getting a little moving.
Oh, because you were moving?
Hmm.
Mm. Were you kind of fidgeting? Were you rocking? What kind of moving?
I was kind of fidgeting a little bit, but I was still calm.
No, I definitely believe that you were still calm. I don't want you to think that I doubt that.
So I started pretending to be a Disney villain, especially Ursula.
Yeah, we have talked about that situation before,
And you know
right?
what? In my case, Ursula sounds like a boy because of her voice. I can tell she has more of a boy's voice.
We've talked about that situation before, right?
Yeah.
So I can tell that you might be a little dysregulated right now because we're talking about off topic moments instead of this moment.
Try.
Do you want to take a minute to play with moon sand and regulate?
Well, let's keep doing this work.
Okay, we're talking about the Disneyland moment, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. When I
Did I
was
feel supported when I was feeling dysregulated?
in the Disneyland moment, did you feel supported when you were dysregulated?
Yeah, I
Oh,
did.
good.
That said, I did a great job when I was in the train.
Oh my gosh, that's
I tried.
wonderful. So you felt supported and you felt supported by Jen, you said.
Yeah, my old therapist.
Okay. So Jen was there for you in Disneyland. Was anyone else there for you?
Me and Jen
Okay.
there.
How do you think Jen felt in that moment?
She said she was really proud of me, but
Um,
could you even be dysregulated when you're excited?
yes. Sometimes people get so excited that they end up hurting themselves or others, right?
Mm-hmm. Like that guy on the bike in New York was dysregulated
Yes. Yes, he was for sure.
because someone almost hit him. He almost got run over.
Are you ready for the next question?
I am.
Okay.
Am I focused?
You're doing a great job. Let's keep it up. When you were feeling dysregulated, how did you deal with your emotions?
I did a pretty good job.
Do you think you could be more specific?
I did the best I can to calm myself down.
What did you do to calm yourself down?
What did I do?
Mhm.
Just did my coping strategies.
Awesome. I did my coping strategies. Which ones?
Stop, pause, and think. I tried to do.
Some. Good. Did you do anything else?
I like what?
When you heard the baby crying in Disneyland, how did you deal with your emotions?
I just did the best I could.
Can you see the screen?
Yes, I can. How did I deal with my emotions? I did a pretty good job. I did the best I could to calm myself down. I did my coping strategies, stop, pause, and think.
Did you do any other coping strategies?
I did do my self-talk in my head.
Okay, self-talk in my head.
Looks too noisy, but I might as well leave this place. Hmm.
Oh, okay, so that's what you thought in your head?
When someone does this, whenever someone's doing that in their self-talk, I tend to do that noise too. Because Ryan,
Yeah.
when someone else gives me an example, I tend to go, and then I pretend to sneeze because I'm angry. That's when I'm dysregulated. I go, ah, ah, achoo. I do that because that's a sign of, because whenever a typical person would sneeze, I would sneeze, and I felt the exact same emotion when someone sneezed.
Wow, okay.
That's when I'm very dysregulated.
Okay, that's really interesting.
Was I really sneezing or was I pretending?
I think you were pretending, right?
And I used to say, I am not pretending.
Oh, okay, you used to deny that.
What does it mean to deny something?
It means to, if somebody says, "Oh, you did this," you say, "No, I didn't."
What does deny mean? Means you wanted to really do it?
It just means that you're trying to say you did not do it, right?
Yeah. And one time I really sneezed. When a real sneeze came out, I started singing Ariel like, ah, ah. And I started singing Part of Your World, the whole song. In Toronto, Canada, I really did sneeze, so I started singing, look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think? I started singing that because I love sneezing and I love mermaids.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring up our lesson 1 and lesson 2 review questions real quick because I'm gonna add some things you said today to it.
All right.
So you said that when you are looking down, that's a sign of dysregulation.
Not really, not physically, it depends.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that earlier. My bad.
All right.
But you said when you're pretending to sneeze or when you sneeze?
Pretending to sneeze.
That means you're really mad, you said.
Yeah, or when I'm really mad. It's also, I pretend, but some people say, yes, you really did sneeze, or they trying to make me feel better. Make me feel better?
Yeah, maybe they're trying to make you feel better. Maybe they don't really know the difference. Can I hear your fake sneeze? Okay, it sounds kind of real.
It's a realistic one.
Yeah, it's definitely a realistic one, that's for sure. So the looking down one, that's something different.
Yeah, like whenever I see Mary looking down at her pants, I look down too. And Mary said, Abby, every time you look down, I look down, do you have to copy me?
Okay, so it's more about copying.
And that made her uncomfortable. I don't want to make people uncomfortable.
So we added that to our signs of dysregulation. I'm happy with.
No, when during the Wild Robot movie, Mary said that movie made me cry, so I really started crying after the movie, and I was very dysregulated, extremely dysregulated. And I used to cry and pretend to be a Disney princess like Cinderella, Snow White, Belle, Ariel,
Yeah,
Jasmine, Aurora,
yeah. So,
because I liked,
all right, sorry, go ahead.
and I used to cry, and I used to quote lines from Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which is going to have its 20th anniversary next year. 2005 was the year it came out, 20 years old.
Mm-hmm. So I can tell that your emotional brain might be taken over a little bit
Yeah, it's
because,
like I need all those feelings, like what Riley did in the movie Inside Out.
yeah. But I just want to say something real quick, okay?
Yeah.
I think the emotional brain might be taken over a little bit just because we're talking about off topic situations, right?
But I'm still focused and talking off topic at the same time.
Okay. So
I'm
what
I'm
in,
killing two birds with one stone.
okay. So what is the situation that we're talking about now?
Copying
Close. We're talking about the Disneyland situation.
and situation.
Do you think we could turn our attention back to that?
Yes, we should.
Okay, let me bring up the questions again. So you've dealt with your emotions by doing self-talk and stop, pause, and think, correct?
Mhm.
And those were the coping strategies you used in that moment.
Mhm.
And it worked for you?
Yes.
That's wonderful. Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to hear that. That's great. Could you have done anything differently?
Could have stayed a little calmer.
Could have stayed a little calmer. Okay. How? How could you have stayed a little calmer?
By taking deep breaths.
I like that. Deep breaths turn on our sense of touch.
Yes.
So yeah, you could have stayed calmer by taking deep breaths.
Yeah.
What
When
else
I'm
take
singing, like when I'm singing Ariel, that's kind of dysregulated.
Yeah, we did say that singing is a sign of dysregulation, right?
Or if I sing a song from Lion King.
So let's talk about how you could take energy away from the emotional and survival brains. If you wanted to stay calmer, you would have to take energy away from the emotional and survival brains, right?
Yes.
So how could you do that?
Taking energy away from the emotional and survival brains, I could five senses.
What about the five senses?
Use my five senses. See, hear, touch, smell, and taste.
Awesome. How could you have used your five senses in that
By
moment?
bringing a go bag.
Use my five senses by bringing my go bag. Do you think that would have worked for you?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. That's something you could have done differently. Thank you for answering that. Now, here's the next question. What will you do next time?
Will I do next time?
Hmm.
Use my five senses.
Oops. I think that's a good choice.
Yeah.
Like right now, how you're using two of your senses to stay focused, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. How do you feel about the situation now?
I feel amazing.
Oh, good. Okay, I love that. I hope you feel proud of yourself.
Very proud.
Good. I feel amazing. I feel very proud. It's really a remarkable thing to be dysregulated and make yourself feel better. With the help of Jen too, right? Jen was there
Of
to help.
course, of course.
How did Jen help you?
Jen helped me because she helped me use my five senses. Well, she just said, I know it bothers you, and something like that. And I did the best I could.
Oh, okay. So she said she was proud of me. She said she knew it bothered me.
Yeah.
Wait, I really like that. You know why, Abby?
Why?
Because she validated your feelings, right?
Yes, she did.
What does that mean to validate feelings?
Support?
Yeah, it is very supportive. So if I got upset by something and you said, yeah, that really is upsetting, you would be validating my feelings, letting me know that I'm not crazy for feeling that way, right? So that's really good. She validated your feelings first. I'm going to write that. I'm going to say, yes, Jen validated my feelings because she said she knew it bothered me to hear that baby crying.
Huh?
Nice stuff. Nice. I'm going to save this. You did a great job dissecting that moment and talking about what you could do next time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure a baby will cry around you again in your life, right?
Yeah, I just don't want them near me.
Yeah, it hurts your ears. I completely understand.
That's why I want to be with adults.
Yeah. And most of the time I think you can be, but sometimes you'll be in public, right?
Yeah. But I like going to Magic Castle with all adults because
Yeah, it seemed really fun. Okay, let's go over our review questions, all right? Are you ready? Makes me think of SpongeBob. Are you ready, kids?
with that intro,
Yeah.
the opening scene.
The opening scene, you remember that?
What's an opening scene? The first part of a film?
Mm-hmm. Or a show, right? Okay, I'm gonna share our review questions. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Lesson 1 and 2. Review questions. What does the smart brain do? Why is it important? It helps you communicate in others in a way others can understand. Focus, solve problems, and think logically. It's important because doing these things is a goal of mine, and it's what pros do. I mean, it's what professionals do.
It's awesome. I feel like you answered that question verbatim. Do you have them printed out next to you?
Yes, I do.
So while we're reviewing the questions, Abby, do you think you can take your printout and put it out of sight? I appreciate that, right? Because it's just kind of challenging you to remember these things on your own.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you so much. So you are right. The smart brain helps us communicate, solve problems, focus, and that's a goal of yours, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is about the emotional brain.
What
Before,
does the
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Finish. You finished. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, think about inside out when you answer this question, okay?
What does the emotional brain do? Why is it important? The emotional brain makes you speak in categories and old memories.
It definitely can do that. It can do that. It holds your
And it's part of who you are.
I love it. Let's see what you wrote.
There, it holds your emotions, categories, and old memories. It's important because they're a part of who you are.
Awesome stuff. Good stuff, Abby. Here's the next question.
What does the survival brain do? Why is it important? It helps you breathe, it makes your heart beat, it helps you sleep, and it keeps you alive.
Wonderful.
It makes your heart beat, it makes you breathe, it helps you sleep, and it controls the nerves for your senses. It's important because it helps you sense things and it keeps you alive.
Really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Okay, moving on.
What kind of energy is in your brain? Electricity.
Nice.
What is happening in the brain when you're dysregulated? Your emotional and survival brains are taking over, or your smart brain is off, or it is already off.
Let's see.
Your smart brain is turning off, or it is off already, and the emotional and survival brains have taken over.
Awesome. I can tell that you've studied these things and it's making me feel really proud.
Thank you. How can you tell you're becoming dysregulated? Like if I'm doing a certain gesture, if I'm biting, or if I'm saying that mermaids eat junk food or Lion King characters eat gluten, that's a sign of dysregulated, but those are categories.
Awesome.
Like if adult women are underwater in a pool, if crying babies are in a group home, those are all the categories.
Yeah. Speaking in categories is definitely one of the answers. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see all of them.
When I say something, one, when I say something off topic. Two, when I start using certain gestures. Three, when I speak in memories or categories. Four, when I am in a flashbacks. Five, when I am scripting, e.g., reciting movies / show scenes or songs. Six, when I am biting. Seven, when I am making certain noises, e.g., num num num. Eight, when I am playing with my hair. Nine, when I am copying other people. 10, when I am pretending to sneeze. Where is the electricity in in your brain when you're dysregulated? The emotional and survival brains.
Let's see if you're right. Yes, correct.
How can you get the energy back to the smart brain? By using your five senses. How does using your five senses work to turn your smart brain back on? By using your works, it takes energy away from the emotional and survival brains.
Good. That's exactly correct.
All right, next question. Can you tell? Well, wait. Can your brain tell what is a big deal and what is not a big deal when you're dysregulated? No. Your brain can't tell what is a big deal and what is not a big deal as it does to a doll or a stuffed animal falling as it does to being attacked by a bear. The smart brain is turned off, which means you cannot problem solve and you can't access common sense. So, no, your brain can't tell. Remember, our brain reacts the same way to dolls falling as it does to a bear attack.
Good.
When do you need to be regulated and focused during a comedy show? Let's say Mary or Jay Larson have have a comedy show, and I have to focus. I have during a interview call or a movie premiere or during a concert, like if I see Sabrina Carpenter or Chapel Roan, if they're performing live in concert, like at the Hollywood Bowl or the Staples Center,
Hmm.
focus on their performances.
Yeah, those are good answers.
I
Let's
hope
see.
Chapel Roan has a performance here in California. Same with Sabrina Carpenter. I want to see them perform live.
I'm gonna add
Or
concerts.
Dua Lipa. I want to see Dua Lipa in concert.
Oh my gosh, me too.
Doja Cat,
Hmm.
Billie Eilish, Shawn Mendes,
Yeah.
Camila Cabello, but they were dating, but they're not dating anymore.
Hmm.
They broke up.
Yeah.
All these young pop stars now. Is Sabrina Carpenter a star?
I think so.
Chapel Roan is also a star.
Hmm.
I'm a star.
That's for sure.
I'm a rock star.
I might even be a rock star.
Is that Hannah Montana?
Mhm.
I might even be a rock star. I still sing that song.
Me too.
But what's her new song? I can buy myself flowers. That's her new one.
Hmm.
Listen. She won a Grammy Award for it. This year, Miley Cyrus won her Grammy Award for that song.
Fantastic.
Okay. I need to be focused during a call, an interview, when watching a movie, a comedy show, concerts, and in conversations with friends and family.
Yeah, so you added concerts to that, which I think is a great answer. You want to be focused on the performer.
Yeah, like when I'm doing the dance, the hot to go dance, HOTTO. I want to do that at our concert.
Yeah, you'll need to be paying attention for the right moment, right?
I hope
Can
she
you?
performs soon in California. I don't know if she's touring in California.
I'm not
But
sure.
if she is, then I'll go see her and get tickets. I'll ask Mary to get the tickets. How
That's all.
many tickets do I need?
I don't know.
I do the silent for deaf people. I'm gonna do HOTTOGO sign language.
That's such a good idea. Wow, that's awesome.
To those who can't hear or those who are hard of hearing.
So, can you think of any other situations where you would need to be regulated and focused?
Mm-mm. Regulated and focused. If during um watching videos on YouTube
Okay, watching a movie
during
or
a story, during a story.
oh, yes,
But
during
you
story.
know what book I look forward to reading to young children? A Bad Case of Stripes because of the lima beans.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
hope
know.
I
Love
can,
that
all the
story.
kids would be eating lima beans while I read them A Bad Case of Stripes
That's a really good
so that
idea.
they can help them grow.
Yeah, I'm sure they would love that book. I mean, we
It's a
all
book meant for kids. Like if I get a nutritionist and I hope the nutritionist wants me to eat more lima beans like Camilla Cream.
I hope so too.
How are you going to regulate to stay focused? I'm going to regulate to stay focused while using my five senses, keeping my smart brain on.
Okay, let's see what we answered.
By using my five senses, and I'm going to use the items in my go bag.
Excellent.
This coffee has my brother Ben's name on it, but I can drink coffee as long as it's from my family, not friends, family.
Okay.
What is the purpose of the go bag? To use my five senses like touch, taste, smell, hear, and see. But my favorite sense is taste.
Me too.
That's my number one, my favorite sense. So I will always have access to the things that turn on my five senses and help.
Sorry.
I will always have access to the things that. Wait. So I will always have access to the things that turn on my five senses and help me stay regulated. I have to bring it with me wherever I go.
Good. Sorry about that. I was trying to see if I can get the question and the answer close together. There we go. Good. Good reading. That's true. The next question is,
Why do I have to bring my bag wherever I go? So that I can stay regulated. Because you never know when or where you will get dysregulated. So if you always have it, so if I always have it with me, I always have the tools to regulate myself.
that's so true, right?
Yes.
If you go out in public, you'll never know when a crying baby might be around or something else that's dysregulating.
Uh-huh.
So you need to have your go bag with you so you have the tools.
Yeah. How long will it take to regulate? It might take hours, minutes, it might even take a day. Something like that.
Let's see what you wrote.
It depends. Sometimes it takes a few minutes to take energy away from the emotional and survival brains, but sometimes it takes days.
Yeah. Nobody can tell you how long it will take to regulate, okay?
It's important to keep the people around you updated and self advocate. What does this mean? It means that you got to support yourself, something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
It means you're going to stick up for yourself and the people who are around you. You might say, I'm dysregulated. I need 30 minutes to turn on my senses and regulate. Or I need to take time to turn my smart brain back on.
Yeah, so self-advocate, being a self-advocate or self-advocating is sticking up for yourself. There are some other things you can say.
Communicate with the people around you through self advocacy. This means using your voice to stick up for yourself. I can say, I'm feeling blank. I need to regulate my emotions. I plan to use blank strategy. I need blank minutes to regulate my emotions. Then we can finish this conversation.
Beautiful.
How can we how can we learn from past memories? Those days are now just old memories.
How can we learn from old memories?
We gotta learn those are from the past, but starting going forward, you gotta do it right.
Abby, did we talk about an old memory today?
Yes, we did.
We
About
talked
the
about
baby crying.
at Disneyland, right?
Yes, at Disneyland.
So we talked about that memory and we talked about what you can do next time the
Mhm.
baby's crying around you, correct?
That's right.
So what we did was we learned from that past memory.
We learned what was happening in the brain in that moment. And how could we keep the smart brain back on for the future?
Awesome. Awesome stuff. That's our last review question.
I will see you on Monday.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.